After years of searching for the patterns and combinations that the pros use to create that awesome linear sound, I have managed to unearth several key patterns that have sparked huge leaps forward in my understanding and performance of linear drumming. It is now my goal to look back over my journey from knowing nothing about linear drumming to knowing something about linear drumming and share what I've learned with you. Stick around. I think this project began, or really the seed that would grow into this project was planted, when I first watched Annika Nielace play those 16th note triplet licks. I instantly loved the sound and wanted to know how to create it. I knew she was using 16th note triplets, so I sat down with Finale and outlined a bunch of hand-foot combinations in the 16th note triplet subdivision. I took these into the practice room and began working through them. When I found a combination that I liked, I would experiment orchestrating it around the drum set and write down the patterns that I thought sounded good. I spent a lot of time practicing these combinations and orchestrations. This helped me gain control over the 16th note triplet subdivision, and I came out of it with a few cool new drum fills. But I still couldn't sound like Annika or any of my other linear drumming heroes like Matt Garska, Walt Lundy, and Eric Moore. I still didn't have all the right phrasing and sticking combinations. At this point, I began digging around online, more intentionally looking for these patterns and phrases. Almost immediately, I have a hard time finding a clear step-by-step dissection of this style. What I did find were little pieces hidden inside of lessons that were not labeled how to play linear drums. These videos were not produced by the same people, and they had no connection to one another. Many times the piece that I would find wasn't even the main subject of the lesson. So, I've figured out some of this on my own, and I found a bunch of pieces scattered throughout different lesson videos. What's been bothering me is that there doesn't seem to be one source that outlines this information from beginning to end. It's entirely possible that I've missed it. The internet is a big place, and there's a bunch of books and lessons behind paywalls that I haven't ventured into. Either way, this series is my attempt to fill this void in the YouTube video lesson library. Having a music education and having worked and taught in the industry for a few years now, I've gotten pretty good at dissecting material, breaking it down into its primary parts, rearranging those parts, or reorchestrating them into something different. And a lot of players can do that. I'm not saying I'm anything special. But I can do that now because of the education and experience I've gained over the years. 16-year-old me did not have that same education and experience. So I'm going to make the lesson videos I wish I had when I was in high school. I'm the type of person that wants to understand what I'm playing from the ground up, because that gives me the most control over what I'm playing. I want you to have that same level of understanding and control over this material. With that goal in mind, these lessons will begin at what I think is the ground level of linear drumming and proceed step by step from there. I am not here to show you a new fancy lick each lesson. You can go search sweet drum lick, find a million videos, learn one of those licks, and play it exactly as it's given to you. But it can be difficult to take that lick and do something different with it, especially if you're inexperienced in how to do that. Most people can drive a car if you give them the keys, but how many people can take the engine out of one car and put it into a different one? My goal is to help you recognize and understand the individual parts of linear drumming and how to alter and rearrange them into your own ideas. Through this process, you'll gain an actual vocabulary. I'm not making this series because I think I'm the best at linear drumming. I'm making this series to give you the step-by-step process I wish I had when I was first diving into this subject. I'm also not claiming to have created almost anything in this series. There are a couple of things I came up with, but for the most part, I'm playing the part of a curator. I'm trying to collect the information and string it together in an order that makes sense so that you don't have to spend years in the same struggle I did. Beyond just learning how to play linear fills and grooves, which have a more focused application, this process will advance your ear and your playing, regardless of style, through a better understanding of syncopation and an improved ability to follow the underlying pulse no matter what you're playing over it. I hope you enjoy this journey and find the material helpful. Enough talking, let's get to it. I'll see you in lesson 1.